Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why do I feel so empty when nothing is actually wrong? You have a job, you have friends, you laugh, you post on social media, you smile when people talk to you. But deep down, something feels missing, something silent, something cold, a space inside you that nothing seems to fill. You try to ignore it, you stay busy, you distract yourself, you tell yourself, it's just stress, it'll pass. But days go by, weeks go by, and the emptiness, it stays. Today we're going to talk about that feeling, not just from a surface level, but from deep inside the human soul. And we're going to explore it through the lens of one of the greatest minds in psychology, Carl Jung. Because Jung didn't just study the mind, he studied the soul, and he had a name for this feeling you're going through. He called it a soul cry. Jung believed that life isn't just about success, productivity, or happiness. It's about meaning. When we lose our connection to meaning, something inside us starts to fade. It's not depression in the medical sense. It's not just sadness. It's a silence of the soul. A deep sense that something is wrong, even when everything looks right. Jung said that many people feel this way because they've lost connection with who they really are. They're playing roles, wearing masks, living a life they were told to live instead of the one they were born to live. From a young age, you're taught to perform. Be a good student, be a good child, fit in, get approval, hide your anger, hide your fear, hide your desires. Soon you forget who you really are underneath all the shoulds. You become what others expect. You become a version of yourself that gets accepted, praised, promoted, but not loved, not by your soul, and so the emptiness begins. You try to fill it with things, new goals, new clothes, new phones, new relationships. But the more you chase, the emptier it feels. Because you're not chasing meaning, you're chasing relief. Jung said that the parts of ourselves we reject never go away. They become our shadow. The shadow is all the parts of you that you hide to survive in society. Your pain, your rage, your shame, your creativity, your hunger for truth. Everything that didn't fit was pushed down into the dark. But here's the thing. What you bury doesn't die. It waits, and one day it starts leaking out. You sabotage relationships. You numb yourself with distractions. You feel anxious or meaningless for no clear reason. That's your shadow knocking, not to hurt you, but to wake you up. So, what do? How do you escape the emptiness? Jung's answer was simple, but not easy. You don't escape it. You go through it. You turn toward the very thing you've been running from. Yourself. This is called individuation, becoming whole by facing your shadow and integrating your true self. It's the journey of going inward, discovering who you are underneath all the layers and living a life that feels real, not one that just looks good. Let's pause here. Maybe you're wondering if you're on this path. Here are a few signs that you might be living without meaning. 1. You feel numb or empty, even during happy moments. 2. You constantly chase new goals, but they never feel fulfilling. 3. You avoid silence because it brings up uncomfortable feelings. 4. You feel like you're performing in your own life. 5. You're afraid to stop because you don't know who you'd be without all the noise. If any of these resonate with you, you're not broken. You're being called. Your soul is trying to get your attention, and it's asking you to come home. Facing your shadow is scary. It means looking at parts of yourself you've denied for years. Your jealousy, your fears, your bitterness, your guilt. But Jung said this clearly. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Meaning, you don't grow by being positive all the time. You grow by being real, by making peace with your inner world. by sitting with the discomfort, not avoiding it, because that's where the truth lives. Here's something powerful. Everyone feels this emptiness at some point. You are not the only one. In fact, Jung believed that the journey of facing the shadow and finding meaning is the true path of every human life. But most people avoid it. They stay busy, they distract, they scroll, they numb, because the journey is hard. But you, if you're here watching this, something in you is ready. Something in you is tired of pretending. Something in you wants to feel alive again. Here are a few simple practices that help reconnect you to meaning. 1. Shadow journaling. Write about parts of yourself you don't show others. 2. Silence every day. 10 minutes with no distractions. Just sit and breathe. 3. Say no more often, especially to things that don't feel aligned. 4. Inner child work. Reconnect with a version of you that was pure, honest, and curious. 5. Authentic expression. Paint, dance, cry, scream. Let what's inside come out. These aren't magic tricks, but over time they lead you back to something sacred. Your truth. Here's the beauty of meaning. It doesn't always feel good, but it feels real. You might still have hard days, but they won't feel pointless. You might still struggle, but you'll feel like it matters. Because now you're living with purpose, not performance. You're connected to your soul, not just your schedule. You're not just existing. You're alive. If you've felt empty, lost, or disconnected, if you've wondered why your life doesn't feel like yours, then this message is for you. Not to scare you, but to invite you, to turn inward, to be brave, to face your truth, because you don't need to be better. You need to be whole. And that journey begins with one honest question. What part of me have I left behind? Your emptiness is not a flaw, it's a message. Will you listen? Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Comment your thoughts. And above all, stay connected to your soul.